I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This is going to, it happens every year. They carry like 30 pitchers into spring training for a reason. This is why. The other thing, too, is I wonder what these guys do in the offseason. I mean, that really makes me wonder what they do in the offseason, how they work out. And I'm sure there are a number of guys that either go play winter ball or, really do work out quite a bit, and they work on their hitting. They work on maybe they work on some of their fielding. And for pitchers, I would think, maybe you shut it down for about a month, and then you go through a throwing program so you can ramp up for spring training. And, this is not an injury in terms of the elbow. This is an oblique injury. So that could happen to any one of these players. And normally I would say, depending on how severe it is, if it's a minor oblique injury, then you're probably looking at about 2 weeks.
Yeah, and they said there's no rib cage situation in there. Carlos Mendoza basically said that it's all muscular. So even though he's not going to start the season on the active roster, he'll be on the IL. It's just they want to take time with him and ramp him up. I think it's just because it's starting so early in spring training, he's not going to be able to throw, and then he's got to get himself back in shape and ready to pitch. But we will most likely. I mean, I'll knock on wood here, but most likely, come, I don't know, Memorial Day weekend, we're not going to be thinking about this at all. And certainly not going to be thinking about it in October. He should be healthy. He should come back. He should have a really good year. I'm glad that they brought him back. I guess you'd be a little bit concerned. He threw the most innings in his career last year. Now he's coming back here, but he's going to be all right. But I mean, the reason why I think that the Yankee fan who's back with that like pure Mets hatred right now after the Soto thing, I think the reason why they like this is because David Stearns doesn't put a lot of emphasis on the rotation, and the Yankees do have a better rotation on paper than the Mets do. So when you see now 2 injuries like this, they could poke at the weak spot. Like, oh, your little boy genius, man, he's trying this again, huh? Not really working. The Yankee fans are doing the boomer, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? Here you go. Montas is hurt, but now he is hurt.
Well, maybe they were right in some respect, but we're right also because Giancarlo Stanton's hurt again.
Yeah, weird.
I mean, and I don't want to make fun of anybody, especially somebody that's been dealing with something like tennis elbow in both elbows, which is strange, especially the way he is built. And whatever his personal issues are, he's got to take care of them, and they're going to allow him to do that, which is the correct thing to do, depending on how significant it is. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious, and that requires his attention for a couple days, and then hopefully he'll get back. But it's a month until the season starts. And to get wrapped up into any of this stuff, in like if you told me Juan Soto, broke an ankle or something, and was going to miss, 3 months of the season, then I'd say, yeah, I'm worried. But that's not the case. And I would say the same thing with Giancarlo Stanton. I would think that, he will, I don't know, maybe he'll miss the first, couple weeks of the season, I think. But they're expecting him to fight through this just like he had to fight through it last year.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange, though, the news with that yesterday, because at first it was he's going to go back and see Dr. Ahmad, who is a Yankees doctor and surgeon, who is, well-renowned and respected, of course. And then Aaron Boone came out and said that he's going back to New York because of personal reasons.
Well, maybe he could be doing both.
Yeah, it could be a little double dip.
I would think if you want to go see the doctor, this is the doctor to go see, get some imaging on it, and get a little bit clearer answer as to what maybe he's dealing with, if it's something more than just tennis elbow. And then number 2, he could also take care of his personal business, whatever that may be.
Yeah, now this is something, I know you love these numbers and stuff.
Yeah, bring me the numbers. I want to hear the numbers.
I know you love these numbers.
Yes.
So you get a lot of, on both sides, Met and Yankee fans are like, Yankee fans say, go out and get a third baseman. Who cares about the money? You got to fill that hole. Now maybe the Mets fans going to say, pull the trigger on a trade for a starting pitcher. You got 2 injuries there. You got to add to the staff.
Don't the Mets fans want Dylan Cease?
Yeah. I mean, that's a guy from
San Diego
that you'd have to trade for, yes. So people say no salary cap in baseball, which is technically true. But this competitive balance tax is essentially
the Cohen tax.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure.
Should be the Dodgers tax.
Yeah, it really should be at this point. But the Mets payroll right now.
Okay.
$315 million. Right?
God bless our owner.
So the competitive Competitive balance tax this year, $241 million.
Yeah, so look at how much money they're spending.
Right. So the penalties now, though, you go $60 million or more over. And is this $60 million or more? It's 241. Yeah. 315. Yeah. $60 million or more.
Yeah.
There's a 60% surcharge.
Yeah.
Now, I don't see another level of that on this. This is from MLB.com. All right. I don't see another level past that. So that says to me, unless I'm missing something, and this is the official Major League Baseball website, that if they add to the payroll, it's really not, you're not going to get another level of charge.
No, but you're still going to get charged.
You're still getting charged.
Yeah, the overall number, that you're over.
But it goes
you're
from.
still increasing that.
You're increasing that, but here's the thing.
I think like teams like the Pirates and Tampa Bay Rays are very happy about that.
Yes.
Keep spending.
But the point is that 20 to 40 million over, 12% surcharge, 40 to 60 million, 42.5%, 60 million or more, 60%. So it's not going up another level. You're just getting charged at 60% on a higher number if you bring in somebody else, right?
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Right?
So, but here, let me just see if I can look at this on Spot Track.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Dodgers right now, their tax payroll, their current tax payroll right now, what the Dodgers are going to have to spend is $392,535,656, almost $400 million.
Hey, Boomer, did you know that they've got a consortium worth $40 billion?
Yeah, I know. The New York Mets are second on this list with 25 players. The Dodgers have 27 players. The Mets have 25 players. Their tax payroll is $321,456,449. And then the next one would be the Phillies at $298.
And where are the Yankees?
The Yankees are fourth. They have a tax payroll current right now, $293,886,666.
All right. So the math here, let me just see. They haven't gone over 60 million then, right? Because it's 241. Yeah, they haven't gone over that.
Right. And right now, the cap space for the Dodgers is minus $151 million. For the New York Mets, minus $80 million. For the Phillies, minus $57 million, meaning this is what it would take to get to like $60 million, right?
Yeah, so the
Yankees are minus $52 million.
So the Yankees don't want to get to that next threshold, and that's why they were talking about trading Marcus Stroman being a thing they had to do.
He's making $18.5 million this year.
Prior to bringing in a third baseman. But for the Mets, they're already past the highest surcharge. It's just a matter of how much more they would add.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, they could. Both teams could add if they wanted to. I mean, it's not like there's anything stopping them other than money. That's it. So if the Yankees wanted to add a third baseman, you don't come back after losing a World Series and being embarrassed.
So you're talking about Nolan Arenado is really who you're specifically talking about.
Yes, him for sure. That's definitely one. I know Luis Ariz is another guy that could potentially be on the block. Guy always hits. He's always winning batting titles. Can't do much more, but he always gets on base.
I mean, the point is that you can find a guy that can play the field, but he can't hit. Then you can find a guy that can hit that can't play the field. Yeah. Then you find a guy that can do both. Now, that's supposedly Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, but he's older now for sure.
Right.
He's not the same guy, but he'd be a tremendous upgrade of what they've got over there. But I don't think either one of these teams are going to do anything prior to the regular season. I think they're going to play it out. See what happens, see who gets healthy. We got the trade deadline, and then we'll see where we're at because both teams should be good enough to be towards the top of their division, even with these injuries they're dealing with.
Yeah, I want to say in the NBA and the NHL, we always say about 30 games to really give you a sense of what you have.
Yeah.
And, you get past Thanksgiving and you're getting into around Christmas time. You kind of know what you have and whether or not you have to improve or whether or not the season's going awry, and you'll have to start trading players and start looking at the draft next year. In baseball, what would you say, 65, 70 games?
I don't even know that. I'm not even sure. I mean, you could make a case with some of these teams that come on at the end and collapse and all of that. I don't know. I mean, I would say maybe over 100 sometimes. Honestly.
Some of these teams get off the great starts and then they falter down the end.
Yeah.
I mean, then there are those teams that kind of hover around 500 and then take off like late August, September.
Was it you that was giving me those whole stats about when, like, the point in the regular seasons?
That was me.
Yeah,
it was me.
But didn't you say baseball was like 150 games or something?
Yeah, because they added the wild card.
Okay. So, but still,
back in the day before the wild card was done, you knew by August who the hell was making the playoffs.
Yeah. But now it's like 150 games. You have an idea who's making the playoffs.
Yes, I was. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, there was a.
And the NFL obviously was. You could figure it out the soonest out of all of them, the earliest rather.
Yeah, but football took the longest because of the wild card.
Okay.
And yes.
But I mean, there's your answer right there. So it has to be over 100 games to figure it out. But yeah, I mean, everybody's got those. Well, we'll see it Memorial Day. We'll see it the July. We'll see it the All-Star break. We'll see it the trade deadline.
Yes.
We'll take a look at the end of August, end of September, what we're looking at.
Let me see. Gunnar was sending this to me. He was basically downloading this 8-page paper, done by some nerds. NARPs and nerds.
NARPs and nerds.
Yeah, but it says the competitive balance relative to the length of season is a key driver in the top-bottom competitiveness. MLB, NHL are the most competitive in aggregate, while the NFL's short season is what makes it competitive. The NBA's best team have the best shot at being the best at the end because of the large number of games gives them more opportunities to win. And they also have a bigger talent divide.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about that in terms of the Knicks and the Celtics and the best teams going in general, the ones who make it to the finals.
You have the top-tier teams. You have the Thunder, the Celtics, and the Cavs. And then the Knicks are in the second tier. I don't care what anybody says it is. And there is a lot of time left to go, and a lot of things can happen between now and May. But, if things stay the same, the Knicks are nowhere in the same class as those three teams.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody's saying differently at this point.
Unless somebody gets injured. That's basically that would be the equalizer. The Knicks right now have played 7 times against the top 3 teams in the NBA and have literally gotten wiped out every time that they have played them.
Yep.
Wiped out.
0-7, and most of them not particularly close.
Their shooting goes haywire. Their turnovers go up. They play helter-skelter, and they forget to play defense. I don't know what else to tell you. The proof is in the performance, as we often say here.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you on this one, man.
I think I heard Evan talking about it yesterday about trying to talk Knicks fans off ledges. I'm not trying to talk anybody off ledges. I'm just talking about facts and reality. And facts and reality tell me what I see is a team that right now cannot even come close to competing against those top 3. And by the way, this is also a team that has a hiccup every now and again against a bad team.
Yeah, well, I think, most NBA teams have that. That's what Jerry was saying, too, yesterday when you guys were talking about it. Like, sometimes, like you see the Celtics drop a game here or there to a bad team or whatever. But when it comes to the Knicks and it comes to the Cavs, they kill them.
Because both of those teams, like I always say about playing at the Garden against the Rangers, if you're a former Ranger player or you are a current Ranger player and you are playing at the Garden, you are getting everybody's best shot at the Garden almost all the time. And that's why, like, nondescript goalies go in there and they play their ass off. But it's just part of the process of playing for the Rangers and playing in the Garden. It's great to wear the sweater. It's great to play for the organization. But you better button your chin strap because you're going to get everybody's best shot.
Most of the time,
yeah,
yes,
most of the time, that's the way it works. Like tonight, the Islanders are going to want to give the Rangers the best shot. If you told me the Islanders won 6-3 tonight, I would not be shocked.
Really? No confidence there, huh?
No, I don't think either fan base has confidence in their team right now, especially the way that both teams have been playing.
6-3, huh? You've been nailing these scores. You had the 3-2 overtime for the Four Nations final. So now I wonder if you could bet on correct score on FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm going to go 6-3 Islanders.
What did it say on Polymarket? Now that you're all into that, did you go back into that yesterday?
I did not. I kept my word.
All right.
I said I'm going to shut this thing off, and I'm not going to go back to it. Not healthy. Not healthy. Because it's all these things I got strong takes on,
Yes, I know you do.
And I'm like, I can't get involved in this.
And one other thing that did come out yesterday, and I felt like we've been talking about this, that Matthew Stafford's going to want $50 million a year. Okay, so now you got to ask yourself, and he wants $50 million. I don't blame him. If he can get it, somebody will probably give it to him. I mean, if you're the Giants, are you willing to give him the contract that, say, Atlanta gave Kirk Cousins, but it's going to be even more money than what Kirk Cousins got from Atlanta? And look at the situation that Atlanta is in right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, they got it's a good problem to have because it looks like they found a young quarterback in the draft that they can count on. However, they're going to have to deal with the Kirk Cousins thing.